got Wayne Dorband here, Mark, and I think eventually probably have a couple others of our staff. This is going to be a weekly webinar, podcast, seminar, whatever description you want to have of it, that I will lead, hopefully on most weeks that I'm going to be available. And I today happen to be in my recreational vehicle, my trailer down in northeast Texas, in a place called Grand Saline, which was where some of the very first salt mining in the United States occurred. The facility that's near here is actually now owned by Morton Salt. And I would argue that that's actually a sustainable, regenerative, agricultural type of venture, because in this part of the world, salt deposits are right at or near the surface. They will actually degrade soils, and the reclamation that is done for the salt mining process will actually improve the quality of the surface and will make available more areas that can be farmed, or where local food can be grown. Now, that's not always what's done with those kinds of places. A lot of times they will grow things in not so sustainable of ways. But anyway, it is a great place for doing dog training, which is why I'm here. That is one of my avocations and hobbies, and we've talked about that before. But I don't want to go a lot further without first letting you know that this is really your session. I'm going to give some information, but I really want you to participate. So please put your questions onto our question area of the site, which is over on the right in the sidebar, and anything goes. I'll try to answer just about anything that you might ask about the whole topic of economics, which is helping people make some money, making the planet better, and other speakers and other things that we're doing, and just anything that can help you, particularly in your businesses. So put them in there. I'm not going to be looking directly at them. Mark will be, and Mark can let me know when there's questions there. I'll have them on my screen, but I'm not going to be focusing on them specifically. We're going to go for a little less than an hour, probably, unless we get just tons of questions, and then we might go a little bit longer than that. I'm not limited today, time-wise, and so that's going to be the format. Today I'm going to talk, outside of what your questions are, about 3 topics mainly. And each week we'll probably bring each of these 3 topics up. And the 3 topics are: what are some new things that are going on in the world that have really good, significant impact on making money, making the planet better? And second is, what are some events that are coming up over the next period of time? This time, because it'll be the first time we talk about it, we'll probably go out a little bit further time-wise, that you can attend events. What are some things that are out there? And third, what are some other resources that are out there that you should maybe potentially be looking at? And those will be the 3 areas that we spend just a little bit of time on, at least each week, as we discuss economic topics. And more often than not, our presentations get listened to and watched as replays. So we have to be a little careful about how pertinent we make things for just the most recent past. try to get this window out of my view below that. It's a little bit better. This is my broom and dustpan that I use in my little small trailer, 21 feet long and 8 feet wide. So what is that, 160 square feet? And plenty big for me when I'm out on the road. And frankly, I'm pretty sure if it was just myself and Deb, it wouldn't be horrible to live in something of this size. And again, think of that, 160 square feet. So wait a minute, it's not even quite that. Yeah, 21 by, 160 square feet. So Mark's showing something on the screen here, which is something you see all the time, which is our website. I'm going to ask him to cue some things up for me as we move forward. And one of them is we are going to be updating our website. Mark and I and the staff have been working on it. And Mark, if you would put up what is our in progress website, and he's just clicking on it now. I'm going to show it here. And this is going to be not so much the place that we send people to or people come to sign up with EAT, but rather to get information. And clearly we are going to use it to get people to enroll in webinars and to potentially sign up and so on. But we've had quite a few comments from our community about just things that we could do a little differently. One of them is to keep consistent in a color scheme. And so notice the color scheme here is going to be green and white and blue and a little in black for lettering. We're going to actually modify our logo. We've had some comments that our logo is a little out of date. So we're looking for suggestions for a different design for our logo. But we're going to scroll down the page here. Obviously, we have just encouraging people that they should think about our topic here. Then when we get to here, if you could stop right there, Mark, if you click either on the left-hand side here or on the right-hand side, I don't want him to click yet, but in a second he will. You could take two different tracks to be a member of the EAT community. One of those tracks could be that you are an expert in some area that is economic, much like we hope all of our speakers are, that they have very specific areas in which they're experts. And if you were a person like that, you could then provide your services to people in the community. And we haven't done as good of a job with that as we're going to be doing moving ahead. We've had the sessions that people have done, we've turned those sessions into courses, and we have given those people's information out to you and provided it to you. But we haven't done much to help connect those experts to you out in the community. And we're going to do a better job of that. So I don't want Mark to click quite yet because I'm going to first talk about what's on the right-hand side of the screen also. Excuse me. Yes, on the right-hand side. So if you click on the left, we're going to do that in a second, you're going to see that it'll take you in a different direction than if you click on the right. If you click on the left-hand side, it's going to tell you why you should join the EAT community, so that you can get your services advertised, marketed, and out into the ecological and environmental marketplace so that other people would purchase them or use them. And so that's where we would go if you went to the left. If you go to the right, it's where You need advice yourself. Your business, your life, different things that you're doing require more information, more knowledge about a given topic. And that's why you will come here. Most of the people that come are looking for what's on the right. You're looking to get information yourself. So now, Mark, click on the left-hand side first, and then let's just show how that's going to go. This is still the part that's under the most construction. And this is how, if you scroll down, this needs, we're going to just change some of the wording here, but it is accurate. We've been portrayed on these news media. So that's one of the things that we're just pointing out. And so this is, it's a all in one place for building a board or something that will get you out into the public with whatever your service is. And so keep scrolling, Mark. We'll be changing again. The exact words are not what you're seeing here now. We're going to be changing those a little. This is actually probably what it is going to look like. You're going to be able to have your company featured, searching, and you'll be able to search and invite advisors to your company. Okay, keep scrolling, Mark. We're going to provide you a digital boardroom, a place to be able to go to. We already have that, but and that's something that's new for the platform that we use, Kajabi. They've changed their communities feature, and I really would like to encourage you to become members, and not to become. You already are by being a member of EAT, and if you are here, you're a member of EAT because you registered for a webinar. But you should go into the communities section of the site, and we'll show that a little bit later, and start to connect with people, much like you possibly do on other social media venues like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or any of the others that are out there. Keep scrolling, Mark. Again, we're going to change some wording here, but just to show you, it's a whole different look for our website. Keep going, Mark. Keep scrolling. Keep going. I think there's still a little bit left. Or are you at the bottom? Well, this is just showing what it's going to look like and how it's going to be to benefit you. Keep going, Mark. You're only about a third of the way down the page. So we're going to add these to this again. This was something that Kajabi makes available, so we're able to use this same format. By the way, it's starting to rain here. You might hear that in the background. One of the things that these trailers do is they don't baffle sound very well. You might hear the rain in a second. All right, so that's the left-hand side. So Mark, let's go back to that previous page and show the right-hand side, which is what it's going to look like if you want the advice for yourself or your company. And that's not what it's going to say, but it's just going to be a little different look. Same sort of approach. Again, right now they're looking very much like they do on both sides, but we're going to change how this works on both sides. So I think we've got a lot of work to do here yet. So you might as well just go back to the main page, Mark. All right, so keep scrolling down. Again, we're just trying to broaden our reach to people. We made this picture. This is actually done using one of the technologies that I want to talk about today, because I think you are around at a point in time that 25 years from now, people are going to point back to, and it's going to be very similar to what you do right now. If you point back to when the internet started as being a point in time that was dramatically important, or if you're an old person like me, you point back to when did radio start, when did television start, when did other things technology-wise that were major changes and how they've changed. Well, the major change that's going on right now is artificial intelligence and the use of artificial intelligence in both creating print and creating art, really, creating images. And this is an example. This image is created by AI, specifically to put something across that we wanted to have done. So holding a piece of the planet, a green piece of the planet in your hand with soil, it looks like fertile soil, and grass and the tree. And that's what we hope that the whole purpose of the economic action team is to show people how they can make the planet better and make some money doing it. So keep scrolling, Mark. Go ahead and scroll down. So back up, Mark, back up a little more. Right here. If you were to click on this, yes, count me in. I don't want you to do it right now, but again, we're going to take advantage of a tool that Kajabi gives us, which is essentially a way to challenge our community to do something. And so it's taking a little quiz essentially, and just getting some, again, gaining some knowledge and learning more about some things you could be doing to make the planet better. So this is an assessment or a little challenge quiz for a couple minutes. So go ahead and scroll down. The next place that's interesting, is cool, is that you can actually click here. And again, this time let's do it, Mark. Click on any of these. These are our most recent blog articles. And this will take you to economics.org and specifically the blog section, where for over 10 years now, we've been posting blogs every week or more frequently than that. And here's a couple of them that are the most recent. And this one, this how to turn alpaca poop into black gold, was primarily written, wording at least, and I apologize, it's raining here, so you're probably hearing the rain. It was used artificial intelligence. So this was written by AI. And Mark and I worked on this together, and we wrote very short period of time, minutes. The vast majority of the really good articles about how to turn alpaca poop into black gold for your garden. Even the title came from suggestions that were provided by AI, by artificial intelligence. So again, easy for somebody who's just coming to the EAT community site, which is what the URL is for the site, to just get in and see what our blogs are. And then on the right, you can see in the sidebar, you can click and become a member. And there's also places in each of the blogs that people can click on. So if you haven't read some of our blog articles, I would highly recommend that you do so. Some of them are excellent. And Mark, what are there? 1,000 of them or more now on the economics.org site? A lot over the last. So, all right, so let's go back to the main page again. And just again, I can continue to scroll and get more information. A little bit about me, not something that any of you probably need anything about, but new people don't know anything about the site might. And keep going, Mark. We're going to get quickly to the end of this now, just scrolling down. A couple quotes from some of our people. This is where we changed it. If you go back to the existing website, again, this is not up yet. This isn't live on the internet yet. We have a whole portion of our page that shows pictures of each of a number of our speakers. And it looks kind of like something we used to call a long time ago a show called Hollywood Squares. And it's kind of busy. And we got several comments from board members and others about that it was too busy, too much information there. So we've changed it to now where we just have 6 different pictures. And Mark, scroll down. I'm actually going to click on one because we've talked a little bit about it, but I want to talk more because I'd really like you guys to think and you to become marketers for us a little bit. So stop on Arib's picture there, everybody. And if you click on the Learn More, and Mark's going to open this in another tab, we have started a virtual assistance business. And this is to where you can hire a virtual assistant from a whole group of them that we have available, and they can work for you for full time. They can work for you for as little as a couple hours a week. And they'll be from places around the world, but mainly right now from either Pakistan or Bangladesh. They will probably have been recruited by either Mark or Arib. They will be trained by either Mark or Arib, and we will guarantee the quality of their service to where you're going to be happy with them. And this little video here is something that if you had clicked there, you could watch. It's actually pretty well put together about what the values of this kind of service would be for you. There's a live chat section on the site to where if you have questions, if you were looking for virtual assistant services, you could get them. And again, we believe this is economic. Remember, economics is like the sharing economy, where it's making use of it. To be economic is to make use of underutilized assets. And people in Bangladesh and Pakistan and places in the world where the economies are not as good as they might be in other places, where people need to make more income, an underutilized asset is the people that are there and the knowledge that they have to do a whole variety of different tasks. So let's go back to the site again, Mark, and let's finish scrolling to the end of it. Again, lots of places that somebody can sign up if they'd like to become a member. Remember, it's free to be a free member of EAT. And we've added this, a frequently asked questions section. So those are some questions. You can even ask your own. So if you go back up a little bit, Mark, and click on there, that you can actually, a form will come up. Mark's going to bring it up here. And you can literally just put your question and that you think would be where it says your message. We're going to change what's over here on the left a little bit just to make this a little bit more clear as to what this form can be used for. And you can have your own frequently asked question, and we'll add it to the site so it can be useful for others. And we'll scroll down. We're almost to the end of the site. This is just a little questionnaire that will actually, it's the one that was up higher. We'll probably take this out. You don't need to click on that, Mark. And then our podcast, which is what this is. It's interesting that when the whole concept of podcasts started probably 10 years ago, maybe a little longer than that, they were audio. And now many of them, and ours is included, have become video also, not just audio. And we don't just market our podcast here, but we use other services that distribute it for us. So we use Spotify, and we use Apple, and we use Google, and over time we'll probably even use other methods to market our podcast. So this is just a way that you can connect. And I think with that, Mark, I'm going to have you turn the screen over to me, if you would, and tell me when I have it, because I'm not going to be looking at it. So you're seeing my screen probably now. Is that correct?
Hasn't come up yet. Oh, yes. Got it.
All right. So I mentioned that we would start to tell you about different events that are going on that are out there for you that you can either get involved in to get two benefits: one, to learn more, or two, to provide your own services as either a income creating opportunity for you or as a way to volunteer. So this is a site called Global Stewards, and I'm going to show several different sites, and it talks about throughout the year different events that go on. And in January, these are ones that are usually celebrated internationally. Arbor Day. Arbor is the word for trees. And there are Arbor Day celebrations that occur all around the country, around the world. And I'm not going to click on that for January, but we could, if you went to this site, and this is the URL here, is globalstewards.com, and you could click on that and find out what live events that you might be able to attend. So you go to February, and there's World Spay Day, World Wetlands Day, World Day of Social Justice. But let's start with March, because that's what we're in now. And there's World Wildlife Day, International Women's Day, March 8th coming up. Meat Out, that is a promotion of a vegan diet. And it's done around on the first day of spring. And you can see as you get kind of into the spring here, there are more events. International Day of Forests, held on March 21st. World Water Day, March 22nd. World Meteorological Day, March 23rd. Earth Hour. And it's not a specific date. It's held at a variety of different dates. I'm going to click on a couple of these in just a minute, but just showing you ones that are coming up in March. You go a little bit further ahead. Earth Day is in April. International Mother Earth Day, which it's really that's the same day. And then Save the Frogs Day, which is an interesting one. Here we go, Frog Scouts over here, held annually. So let's go back to March and let's click on a couple of these. I clicked earlier. I'm not going to go to Meat Out, but Meat Out actually is, again, a site that promotes a vegan type of a diet. And it's not individual events as much as a whole bunch of different ways that you can use tools that they provide on the site to promote a vegan diet. But let's click on World Water Day. So, World Water Day is something that is about accelerating change to solve the water and sanitation crisis in the world. And it is a crisis throughout the world. And there's lots of different things that, again, it tells you can do. So here's a list that you can get a kit and spread the word. And these are all just things where you can actually get that kit. So this one is, again, providing you tools. It's not a specific live event that you attend, that you go to, but it is a variety of different things. I'm going to answer a phone call because it'll be funny for you folks. Hey, Joe, you there? Guess I didn't answer it. Joe Aiken is somebody who will actually be a guest. As we do these, this session every week, I will have a co-host that is not with me today, and I'll have Mark maybe bring his site. So Mark, while I'm still on the screen before we end, I'm going to have you bring up either the Chi Golf site or just some photos of Bob, because Bob's going to actually co-host this with me. Bob has done a series of events for us in the past. Bob's one of my best friends on the planet, and also Bob's going to be helping and being a host, and we're also going to have guests. So, interestingly, Joe Aiken is, again, a longtime business associate. He used to work for me. He now has his own private consulting business in the environmental world. And I think he's been a guest. He was actually a guest of ours with his partner, Song Jin, and they talked about some specific methods that they've developed and patented for cleaning up contaminated soils and water. And they're actually working with me on a project in Ohio. And they were just there and came back yesterday, I think. They were with one of Mark's and my partners, our staff, Aaron, who's in Ohio. And Aaron's been on our webinars before. So anyway, Joe's going to be a guest. So we'll have guests on this session where they just come on for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or, not usually for the whole hour, and they won't make presentations. They'll just be here to answer your questions and just I'll ask them questions and we'll talk about that. So now let's go to another one of these sites for one of these other events that's occurring. Let's go to the International Day of Forests. Oh, here we go, International Day of Forests. And it looks like there are some very specific events that it talks about here. The United Nations observances, days and weeks, anniversaries, who chooses and when, so on. Again, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail of this right now. Celebrating multilingualism, which unfortunately here in the United States, we are not very many of us multilingual. You probably heard the joke, which is, what do you call a person who speaks 3 languages? Trilingual. What do you call a person who speaks 2 languages? Bilingual. What do you call a person who speaks 1 language? American. Unfortunately, we are not taught in our schools or in our young lives to speak more than 1 language, typically. So multilingualism would be a great thing for any of us to learn if we don't already have that as a skill. Mark does. Mark speaks at least 3 or 4 languages well, I know. By the way, Mark, anybody got any questions that we should be addressing?
Looking at the question, all right, I think I saw one.
I think it's just, go ahead.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Just saying hello and thank you. Bye.
Yeah, that was Alicia. Thank you, Alicia. We appreciate that. So let's go back to my screen, Mark. Now I'm going to go quickly to another topic, which is something that we're going to start to promote, which are other people's podcasts in the environmental space. And this is a pretty cool article about the 15 best podcasts about the environment. And this site, Earth.org, is a really well-known site, one which if you don't subscribe to it, I would highly recommend that you do and check it out every now and then. This is just a blog article that was written, and let's see the date of this, September 30th of 2022. And this one here is unbelievably good. I'm going to go to it in just a minute, and I'm not going to play any of it because I think that might be a copyright infringement if I did that. But you can go and listen to this podcast, Sustainable. The guys who do it are really cool, and it's hilarious. They're comedians, and unfortunately, it went on from 2015 until just recently, and it ended. But there are 274 episodes of it that you could go back and listen to for free. The most recent one and the last one was right before Christmas in 2022. And I actually listened to it right before I did this today. And it is hilarious. These guys are just funny. It's really well done. So I'll quickly go to that side and then I'll come back here. Here is Sustainable. And this is some of their product, because I'm going to talk about, we're going to start making product available on our site. Come on, go to the page here. Maybe I have to go backwards. So here was 274, the end. And this is the one that I listened to. And so they have a description of it here. These guys were hilarious. I don't know what ship that is, but I hope nobody really got that view. I hope that was edited, as they say. So anyway, let's go back. That's the very top one that they give, Sustainable. I had not listened to some of these others, but there's one, Big Closet, Small Planet. And it's about fashion industry and how many of us have way too many clothes and they oftentimes just get wasted. So something that you should care about. Third one here is How to Save the Planet. What a great name. I think we call that economics. So I haven't listened to this one again either, but probably one that we can do. And there's places to click for all of these. So here you would click on podcast. That would take you to Sustainable. This one here, you can click or podcast, and it'll take you to Big Closet, Small Planet. And then here's How to Save the Planet. Sustainable-ish. Pretty cool. The Wild Lens Eyes on Conservation. Jane Goodall. You've heard us talk about Jane before. Jane is a friend of Mark Shepard's. Jane is well known for a number of things, but probably most for her Jane Goodall Institute and the fact that they've saved huge pieces of land in Africa, and specifically related to areas where large primates will be preserved, gorillas and other types, and so Jane is there. Here's the 20 best environmental films of 2022. We're going to click on that in a minute. By the way, we should be on this list of the top 15. So we're going to work hard to get there. Mother Earth News and Friends. Mother Earth News has been around forever. Global Goals Cast, The Food Fight, Nature Podcast, so hot right now. Women Mind the Water. Okay. So a lot of cool ones there. And that's going to lead me, we have about 18 minutes left here, to take us to AI, just to show you how cool AI can be. And I'm going to start, and this is OpenAI, chat.openai.com, chat.openai.com. It's free. Unfortunately, it is so heavily used right now that if you get on just the free version of it, it's sometimes hard to get into it. So there are a lot of paid versions that have occurred. Again, 2.5 months ago, nobody even knew what chat AI was. And now the world's learning about it. So we're going to start a new chat, and we're going to just ask. It's a little bit like a Google search, but it'll actually write things for you. Write the outline of a blog article about the 15 best environmental podcasts. So look how fast it did this. It's actually giving us those 15. I thought it was just going to give the So I was going to ask it to do what it already has done. And it's saying that here are the 15. And it's giving, and it says that if you write the blog article, and if we go back up to the top, it's got and so again, this is an outline, brief explanation of the importance of environmental podcasts. And I'm going to have it write that in just a second. An overview of the 15 best environmental podcasts, and then each of them. And so let's see how these compare to the ones we've seen already. The Climate Pod, I don't remember that one being on the list. Sustainababble was. Drilled, I don't remember that one being there. No Place Like Home, I don't remember that being there. Living on Earth, I think that one was there. The Energy Gang, I don't believe that was there. The Wild, that was there. Regenerative Journey, I don't believe was there. Reversing Climate Change was not there. How to Save a Planet, Green Dreamer, The Mothers of Invention, that was the name of a band, by the way. Pioneers was not there. So anyway, but you can take it further. So now I'm going to just copy this. And I'm going to go down and say, write paste, and you don't have to be real specific in what you tell it. It keeps the theme going, whatever it is that you're talking about. So it went up and it did what A and B was, a brief explanation. So it gave the explanation. Environmental issues have become increasingly urgent. Many people are seeking ways to become more informed and engaged in efforts to preserve, I think, the planet. One way to stay, blah, blah, blah. It gives you all this. So what we're going to do then is now let's not write the next position. Give the URLs and contact information for these 15 best environmental podcasts. I don't think I have to write all this. I think I could just say give the contact information. Now, notice it didn't give me that. It wouldn't give it. Well, it's interesting. You can talk to it just like you talk to another person. Now, I'm going to talk to it now, and I'm going to say, you know what? I'm disappointed. Go ahead. You can give me this information. Notice it says, I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I don't have the ability to produce context. You actually can. So I'm very disappointed. Let me ask you again in a different way. Give me the URLs for these podcasts. Now it's thinking. That means it's going to write them. It's having to do a lot of thinking here. Well, maybe I'm regenerating. Oh, here we go. Yeah, see this? I apologize for any confusion. Here are the URLs for each of the 15 environmental podcasts mentioned in the article. I actually think I can go back here. It might have actually, it actually gave it to me twice. So it gave me all the URLs. Now, I think I can still go in. Can you now give me contact information for each of these? And you don't have to put punctuation. Look at this. See, it told me before it wouldn't do it. And now it's doing it. Isn't that something? It's giving Twitter and email. Can you give me the Facebook pages for each of these? Look at this. This is so much better than a Google search, everybody. You don't get all the nonsense. And this is, by the way, this is all what we call public label rights. You can take everything you get directly from this and publish it. So why isn't the Colonomic Action Team podcast in your top 10, 15? So It's saying it doesn't have personal bias. What is the Colonomic Action Team podcast all about? So it tells about it. However, it's interesting. It makes mistakes. So I'm going to show you one. Host Jason Smith. Mark, who in the heck is Jason Smith? So it doesn't always. Does Jason Smith host the Colonomic Action Team podcast? And if so, who is he? Yes.
Jason
He's the
L.
founder.
Smith.
What's that?
Jason L. Smith. Who is he?
Yeah, who is he? Jason L. Smith. Who is Jason L. Smith?
He's the CEO.
Well, but it says he's. I mean, I think we can find out why they've screwed this up. But let's go back now because we're going to write this blog article, everybody. We're going to write our own list of 15 top podcasts. And let's go and say, what else would we want, Mark? We've got Facebook pages now. We've got Twitter, got contact info. Where can we watch, listen to these 15 podcasts? Here we go. Look, Apple, Spotify, Google, Stitcher. Mark, why haven't we put ours on Stitcher? I think we've maybe talked about that, right?
We can still get it, but we got the three most popular ones.
Okay, which is Apple, Spotify,
and Google.
And Google. Okay. We ought to look into Stitcher because it looks like Stitcher is here for all of these. Most of them, yeah, it's pretty much all of them. There's one, Pod something. Has Stitcher got a fee associated with it? Does it cost something to go onto Stitcher?
I don't know. I gotta look into it. So we should probably get it if it's free. Yeah.
So we are coming up on an hour, and it's been fun. And we'll have Mark. What else do you have? Throw in some thoughts.
Yeah, we have really awesome lineup of webinars coming up.
Oh yeah, please. That's right. Talk about our next webinar.
Yeah. So next Monday we have an author and evolutionary business coach. She's Carmen Williams on Monday, and then next March 13th we have another one, Geoff Palmer, and then March 29th is Mark Driscoll, and then March 31st is Alicia Rocco, and then April 10th is Conrad Miller. That's
Cool.
the lineup right now. Yeah.
And we're going to start getting more and more and more, everybody. So that's our goal, and we're going to do it. So again, we're always very sensitive to making sure we don't go over an hour if we can help it. So this has been a lot of fun. I'm going to actually take advantage of the last hour or so of daylight and go out and do some more walking around in the beautiful area that I'm here in Texas, and take my dog out for a walk. And one of my dogs, I've got 5 of them here with me now, Mark. Got the 3 that live in our house with us. I should have brought the puppy in. You know what, Mark? Just grab the audience for just a second and talk to them. I'm going to bring the puppy in. We're going to finish with seeing the puppy. So just go to a web page real quick, and I'll be right back. I'm going to grab her.
All right. So I'm going to take the screen for a second and show you my Excel. I will show you one thing that we have coming up. So show you Bob Christodar. He's going to be a co-host. I'm going to search for Bob, and he has been involved with golf and qigong, and he did a bunch of business webinars with us. I'll show you one of his webinars with Bob. So let's see. Bob was with Joe. Okay, so here was one with this one was Dr. Lopez.
Yeah, it's Bob. You showing? In my webcam, it's up there, right? You seeing the little sweetheart give me a kiss?
Oh yeah. Oh wow. And a little one.
Yeah, why don't you just go back to my take the screen away and just go to my picture for the end here to see the puppy a little bit better.
Okay. So I'll turn off my screen here.
Well, this is Maya. And Maya is a little over 10 weeks old, 10 and a half weeks old, and she was just taking a nap. So she just got up from her nap, and she says, I need to go out and go potty, Daddy. You've been teaching me that I can't go potty inside my house, but I need to go outside. But I just woke up from a nap, and you need to take me out so I can go potty. Yeah, I do it all. Need to take you out to let you go potty. Well, everybody, I can't think of a better way to end. We got Puppy, and we got Mark, and we got Wayne, and we had fun. And I hope you learned something. And we'll see all of you next week. Adios. Goodbye.
Bye.